Jacksonville. Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. The Senate votes on the $95 billion foreign aid package, money earmarked for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan.
Mr. Vance, no. Mr. Wicker, aye.
The bill receives enough votes to pass. It now will move to the House, but it's not clear if it will make it through the lower chamber. Polls are open in New York's Long Island for the seat of expelled Congressman George Santos.
A special election in New York's 3rd congressional district between Republican Mazi Pilot and Democrat Tom Suozzi could also serve as a bellwether this November. Democrats are eyeing swing suburban districts like this one to take back the House. Abortion, crime, and immigration are some of the issues dominating this race.
Fox's Madeline Rivera, a nor'easter already dropping snow on the Northeast, up to a foot expected in some areas. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
Oh, so happy it's Tuesday. I'm glad all of y'all are here. Glad we're here. So welcome to Tuesday. It's a blustery one.
Very blustery.
I'm Rachel Brown.
Mm-hmm. I'm Kelly Knapp.
And I'm Lee Barrows.
Yeah, outside, I've been watching the trees and hearing the wind passing overhead. Wow, what a time.
Yeah.
Y'all be careful out there driving because, your cars can be whipped around like you wouldn't believe, and you got some wet pavement to go along with it. So be ever so careful and slow down. Please slow down. We're just listening to Fox News there and about the Ukraine aid to Ukraine and other places, as it turns out. That's not just the only one. But it's kind of heating up. It's not going to be pretty, I can tell you that. And several people now are saying that built into this bill is if Trump is elected in November and he goes in and he changes that annual deposit of billions of dollars for aid to Ukraine, Israel, and wherever else it is, that he can't do that because Trump has gone on and said, if I'm elected, I'll end the war in Ukraine in 1 week.
Yeah, he's coming under attack for those remarks he made in reference to that bad, as Trump would say, badly.
Yeah. But if he is elected and he doesn't do what this bill says he can do, that will be grounds for impeachment. I don't know if he understands that yet. I don't know if Congress understands that yet. They haven't read that little fine line, but a few people have. So we will see how that goes.
The Senate passed it. And,
yes, it's going to the House now.
22 Republicans joined the Democrats in approving the aid. Wow.
It's probably going to pass, and it will be another, because if he cuts off, as he did before, if you will remember, he cut off this aid from another bill to Ukraine and companies until Ukraine's president said, yes, I will investigate that district attorney or whatever, prosecutor. Remember what he wanted to do with that?
Fannie Willis?
No. One in Ukraine.
Oh, the one in, okay. Where I got Fannie from. Okay. We're jumping around.
So anyway, yeah, he said if you, that's how he got into trouble over that whole deal. So he cut off the aid. He wasn't supposed to cut off the aid. Apparently, he did not have the power to cut off the aid willy-nilly, especially based on a political move. Good God. Several conservatives agree with some of the Senator J.D. Vance's memo circulated early yesterday that there's a hidden clause in the National Security Supplement bill that he believes could be grounds to impeach former President Trump from office if elected to office later this year. He sent the memo to Republican lawmakers. The bill, which would send billions of federal dollars to Ukraine, assures the delivery of funding through September 2025. Trump, however, has vowed to end the war in Ukraine within 24 hours of gaining office, which would also end funding. I wonder if there's anything in the bill that says, as long as they're at war, we'll continue sending the money. we'll continue sending them your money and my money, our money. It's a political
Complicated.
world.
Yes, it is. I know, and now they're fighting over this bill going to the House, and Marjorie Taylor Greene and a few others want to remove Mike Johnson as Speaker if he puts the bill on the floor himself. I mean, how would you like to be Speaker of the House with the constant threat right there that no matter you could do one thing and somebody wants to remove you?
Yeah.
I mean, how does he deal with that every day?
I don't know. That's why I even took the job. I don't know.
He's gonna, that hair is gonna turn gray real quick.
You know, we heard, I don't know whether it was December or January now, we heard some reports that that money intended for the Veterans Administration to provide health care to veterans had been channeled to support health care for illegal aliens. And the VA initially denied it. President Biden is now facing increased scrutiny over his administration providing health care administrative services to illegal migrants amid a worsening border crisis, potentially exacerbating long wait lines for American veterans utilizing Department of Veterans Affairs facilities. They got long enough lines as it is. Why would you take the money away from that to support those who have committed crimes by coming into this country illegally?
Veterans should be first. I just be glad when 2024 is over.
Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville talked about his recently introduced No VA Resources for Illegal Aliens Act, which he introduced alongside Representative Mike Best, that would ban such action. One of the many problems, he says, are facing the country as a result of the border disaster taking place under Biden's watch. That is a partial truth. The border disaster is taking place under Biden's watch, but it started well before Biden took office. It was going on, God, how many decades ago has this been a major problem? And yes, it worsened under Biden.
Yes.
The Biden for President t-shirts are just Biden t-shirts that ended up in those long lines of people making their way to the southern border to enter this country. That was a telling point right there. What were they promised if they'd wear those t-shirts? Easy access to the country if Biden is elected?
It's a good question.
Very good question.
I don't know that they would have done it for nothing. Whatever. It's, you know, it's pretty just disgusting out there in la land. Sometimes you just wonder.
A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
Police in Houston say the shooter who opened fire at Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church on Sunday was Janess Yvonne Marino. Marino, who has a lengthy criminal record and was born a man, Jeffrey Escalante, from El Salvador, was killed after off-duty police officers at the church responded to the threats and the shooting. A search warrant said Marino pointed an AR-15 at the officers who then fired upon her and killed her in self-defense. As a man, the 36-year-old Marino has a criminal history, including convictions for assaulting a police officer in 2009, forgery in 2010. The shooting happened Sunday afternoon before the Houston mega church's 2 p.m. Spanish service was set to begin. Marino entered the church with a long rifle, should just be a long gun, with a rifle, wearing a backpack and a trench coat, and accompanied by a 5-year-old child. Don't know who the child is.
It's her son. I'm reading it right here.
Mhm.
And
How can it be her
7.
son?
They said this article says she is a female, but she's used, she was going through a divorce.
Yeah.
She's used male and female aliases, but this is her biological. He was shot in the
He was
head.
born a man.
This said she was born female.
Here we go.
Yeah. And it said this I've seen 3 different things that say this is her biological son. And he's 7. He was shot in the head.
Okay.
They don't know who shot him.
After the shooter opened fire, off-duty officers at the scene engaged the shooter and returned fire. Marino was pronounced dead at the scene. Police said the two people were injured, 57-year-old man and the child that who the shooter came with, who was in critical condition yesterday, not expected to live. Dang.
It's sad.
Yeah, it says she has a mental health history. In 2016, she was put under an order for emotional detention. I don't know what that is. In Houston police, she's used multiple aliases. She was going through a divorce. She does real estate. She sold condos. But she was going through a bitter custody battle between her and her ex-husband's family. Some of them were Jewish because she had some Free Palestine stickers on her gun.
Mhm.
She legally purchased a long rifle in December. But they say they said an
How could
attorney.
Okay, how could she legally purchase it if she had all of these other issues?
She did. It says it on here. She
Then
legally bought that gun in December.
Then she
That's the
slipped through the
problem right
system
there.
again.
But once again, she had her attorney from 2021 and 2022 said she had a number of aliases, including Jeffrey Moreno Carranza, then her name. She has other female names. She would switch between the two. But the child is, according to this, is 7 and he's her biological son. But there was a custody battle between her and her ex-husband over this kid. And the ex-husband's family, some of them are Jewish, and they think, so now they're looking into whether they're going to try to call it a hate crime, which doesn't make sense because it's not a Jewish church. So yeah, there's like a lot. She had an AR, according to this, AR-15 and a 22 caliber weapon that was not used, according to federal law enforcement. Yeah, it's like messy. And there's a video of her getting out of the car with the kid. They said Moreno's son, who was shot in the head, is in critical condition. And then the 57-year-old man was shot in the leg. And then
He was from Belize, I think.
And then the Houston Police Department officer and a Texas ABC were the two agents that engaged her. Yeah.
No, he wasn't from Belize. He was
Yeah.
there.
So this is like, so who knows? But there's 3 different websites are saying it was her biological son. But she just went through all kinds of aliases. And a bitter divorce.
Bad.
Yeah, messy.
Bad. Yes, very
Just
messy.
messy.
Child Protective Services investigated the family several times, and the Marino has a history of erratic paranoia, stalking behavior, and was diagnosed as exhibiting, I don't know what that is, Munchausen syndrome by proxy, that she stored a loaded gun in her then 3-year-old's diaper bag.
Hence, that might be the custody battle issue. It's messy.
We're just too much
It's very
insanity
sad.
and insane actions.
But if she had all that mental health history,
should
it's
never have
amazing
ever-
she was able to buy that gun.
Well, it's probably did not show up because
Well, once again, but if she had a bunch of aliases, she probably had a bunch of IDs for the aliases. But yeah. So is it just a name? But if she was, I wonder what name some of that stuff she was arrested under, she would have, I don't know. It's weird. Maybe that's why you need to do fingerprints.
when you get arrested,
Yeah.
you should be able to,
List all your alias.
every one of them should be available to ATF operators who,
I agree, unless
gunshots.
a person's using ones they don't know.
Well,
How do you get all these IDs? I mean, don't you have to show some kind of
I
documentation?
mean, every college kid gets them.
Yeah, I know how they get those.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Weird.
Well, Kelly, your man Tim Scott is being touted as Trump's #1 pick for vice president.
I know. I saw that.
Going to be interesting.
Mhm. I agree.
the uncle of one of the Marines killed in the crash last week of a CH-53E helicopter
Uh-huh.
is saying pretty much what a lot of other people have been expressing after learning that the helicopter went down in a rather rare winter storm
Mm-hmm.
late at night, 11:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Benjamin Moulton was one of 4 Marines who perished. One of the, was it 4 or 5?
I thought it was 5.
I thought it was 2, who
Yeah.
perished in the crash. His uncle, Bradford Moulton, said he doesn't understand how the training mission continued when it could have been postponed until after the storm. He called it a stupid mistake. He said that having worked with the military for most of my career, I know the military does hazardous missions all the time and they train all the time, but this was a highly volatile storm.
Yeah.
It had hurricane force winds. These helicopters, they were flying. They don't have defrosters on the blades. He said they didn't have them on the windows either, but I found that last night from somebody who was an instructor on a 53 that they do have them inside the cockpit on the windows. The helicopters they were flying, if their rotors ice up, he said, they're going down. They were flying at an altitude of 5,400 feet. I don't know how he knows that, which is right where the snow and the rain mixes.
Oh, wow.
They were flying from Creech Air Force Base in Nevada to Marine Corps Air Station Miramar near San Diego on a routine training exercise. When it went down during torrential rains and high winds, the plane was found in the San Diego mountains. Now, according to somebody that I know pretty well, who has a flight simulator at his call, he punched in all that information that was given about this whole flight, plotted it himself. And there are some really tall mountains up to 12,000 feet there, or 10,000 feet. So they weren't necessarily flying at 5,400 feet. The higher you go, the more likely it is you're going to get ice forming.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tragic.
It's tragic. It's tragic. I don't know who would have called it, should have called it, could have called it. I don't know whether the captain of the bird can call it, whether the operations team has to call it. I don't know. Somebody, operations commander on the ground. Probably should have been called.
I agree.
Probably. All right. Let's take a break and do some weather. We'll be right back. We'll talk about wind, I guess, when we come back.
Little windy.
And falling temperatures.
Yes.
It was warm when I got up. 60 in my backyard. It was 56 20 minutes later. And it's going to go down tonight, too. We'll hear about that when we come back. You're live in Local Real Talk. Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back with weather.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Is your phone plan messing with your savings plan? Don't get stuck paying for things you don't want. With Verizon, you only pay for what you need. And for a limited time, when you bring your own phones to a Verizon store, you'll get an amazing price on your plan. Plus, you'll save on things you actually love, like the Netflix and Max with Ads bundle. And it's on our award-winning 5G network. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today for an incredible deal. A better plan to save is Verizon. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Discover, this is Daniela.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Do you like asparagus and mushroom sorbet? I've got leftovers.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Head out to the Swansboro Area Business Showcase on Saturday, February 24th at the beautiful Swansboro Rotary Civic Center. Doors open at 10 a.m. Admission is free. Check out products and services from area companies. Sample free signature menu items from local restaurants from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. Enjoy entertainment on the big stage from youth organizations and local groups. For more information, log on to swansborochamber.org or call 910-326-1174.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
In a season of falling temperatures and rising energy bills, your local Bryant professional is always ready, standing by to protect your home's comfort and defend you from uncomfortable temperatures and the higher energy bills associated with them. Ready to do whatever it takes for your home, your family, and you to be comfortable without breaking the bank. Because when the temperature falls, that's when your local Bryant professional turns up the heat efficiently.
Call Down East Heating and Air Conditioning at 346-4311 and let them keep you comfortable this winter. Down East Heating and Air Conditioning, serving our community for over 25 years. Also, Down East can help you with your home guttering needs. Call Down East today at 346-4311.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
And we're back. The doors open in about an hour down at Tideline Marine here in Jacksonville. New boat or a new to you boat, Tideline has a number of boats for sale. If you like your boat though, but your motor is acting up, maybe it's getting tougher to start, maybe it just doesn't perform like it once did, you should check out the motors made in the United States of America. Mercury Outboards, in stock from 15 to 300 horses. If you're new to the area or you may not have visited Tideline Marine in a while, you'll be pleasantly surprised with what you find. Trailers, fishing rigs, a wall of lures, lots of parts if you're into the do-it-yourself mode. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street, on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Low pressure building through today with unsettled weather expected through this evening. Gale warnings in effect from this morning through this afternoon. Offshore today, westerly winds 25 to 35 knots, a few gusts up to 50 knots, decreasing to 40 in the afternoon. Seas 9 to 12 feet, subsiding to 7 to 10 this afternoon. Near shore seas 7 to 10 feet, subsiding to 5 to 8 in the afternoon. Dominant period 9 seconds. Sounds and rivers very rough. Wednesday, tomorrow, northwesterly winds 15 to 20, gusts to 25 knots, diminishing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. 2 to 4 footers. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon. And on Thursday, northeasterly winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming southwesterly 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Then westerly 15 to 20. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Building to 3 to 5. Sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop in the afternoon, then becoming pretty choppy.
Well, today it'll be mostly sunny, a high of 58, winds 15 to 22 miles an hour with gusts as high as 46 miles an hour. Ooh. Tonight, clear, cold, low of 36. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 57 with winds only between 5 and 11 miles an hour and gusts as high as 18. So it's kind of calming down a little bit. Tomorrow night, clear, cold, that's your fireplace, Rayford, low of 34. But on Thursday, sunny, high of 63, and the gusts are back up to about 22 miles an hour on Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, talked about the gust offshore. I looked at the offshore report from Frying Pan Towers this morning.
Yeah.
9.5 foot seas at the time.
Oh, heck no. Nope.
Could you imagine being on that thing?
And 44 knot winds. And so up there about 52, 53 miles per hour.
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
Given all of the concerns from voters these days, there's talk now that the Democrats may want to rethink supporting President Biden's reelection bid. Never fear, Kamala is here. She told the Wall Street Journal that, in her words, I am ready to serve. There's no question about that, adding that everyone who observes her work walks away fully aware of her capacity to lead. Has anyone ever seen her work?
No.
We don't know what she does day in and day out. The DNC has pretty much kept her out of the limelight for quite some time now, probably figuring that Biden might not be able to run. He might not be able to run. If she spends too much time in the public's eye, her initial gaffes will likely hurt any chance she may have if put to a vote. Republicans piled on Biden following special counsel Robert Hur's report that was released last week, but Democrats have also begun voicing, or at least admitting, greater concern surrounding Biden's age and whether that could hurt his chances at winning re-election this year. Yesterday, the White House said that Biden does not need a cognitive test when he gets his physical done. That's going to be very shortly. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre stated that Biden's physician, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, does not believe a cognitive test is necessary. She said Connor believes Biden proves his cognitive ability every day in how he operates and how he thinks. That was what the good doctor said a year ago, not this month. We haven't heard from him this year. President Bill Clinton's lead strategist, James Carville, argued Sunday that the White House has little confidence in Biden after he turned down a Super Bowl Sunday interview. He criticized the White House strategist, saying that it doesn't make sense to turn down an interview that would have run some 20 minutes on the biggest night of television. Maybe Carville is missing the possibility that the White House folks figured he could do more damage in that situation than he could do good for the election. I think there's a major divide between Democrats and the White House these days, and the whole DNC.
I agree with
I'm
that.
seeing that.
Yeah.
Major divide everywhere.
Yeah, Republicans got their share. Don't get me wrong.
Do they ever?
I mean, look at the race for president. Holy moly!
I just got a message from one of our listeners. Said all Lejeune school buses traveling to and from the air station New River to Camp Lejeune schools have been redirected to travel through Jacksonville instead of taking the bypass and going across the high-rise bridge because of heavy wind gusts.
Yeah, we know what those heavy wind gusts do on high-rise bridges.
Oh, that's scary.
Because at the top of that bridge, which is what, 75 feet or so off the ground, that wind is a lot stronger than it is at the bottom.
And there's nothing more scarier than to be on there and you're right at the top and the wind gusts hit you and your vehicle.
And those school buses are,
top heavy,
but they they got a lot of wind frontage.
Yes.
So a lot of sail area, they call it in boats. Oh, wow.
I know in Tyrell County, they went to remote learning today.
Yeah.
Because of the wind.
Wow. Yeah, there's a wind advisory out there. All sorts of mess going on. One Iranian terrorist group has been forced to return a Boeing 747 cargo plane to the United States. The aircraft was owned by Mahan Air, a sanctioned Iranian airline affiliated with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The government of Argentina transferred the physical custody of the aircraft to the United States this week pursuant to the final order of forfeiture. Mahan Air, known to ferry weapons and fighters from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and Hezbollah, violated U.S. report restrictions by selling the airplane to a Venezuelan cargo airline. Argentine authorities had worked with the United States. They turned a warrant over to Argentina to go get that plane, and they did. And it flew back into the United States on Sunday.
That's interesting.
And now the American military has it. Got a caller. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey, good morning, guys. This is Steve.
Hey,
How y'all
Steve.
doing
I'm
today?
doing fine. How are you?
Pretty good. Y'all got your anchor out so you don't get blown away?
You got that right.
Gonna need it.
Crazy.
I wanted to comment on something today that's kind of been in my mind for the last couple of days. Is I feel like both the Democrats and the Republicans are kind of painting a false narrative about our economy. What I'd like to say is that I believe our country, from an economic standpoint, is doing pretty good right now.
Mm-hmm.
I would not credit Biden for that necessarily. You know, he may deserve some credit on some level, but I believe the credit really goes to the Republicans and the Democrats who work together to pass bipartisan legislation, like the infrastructure bill, the PAC Act, and our Republican senators and congressmen voted for that legislation, so they deserve credit for the good economy as well. It's really all of America deserves credit for this, not one party. And both sides, the Democrats want you to think it's all Biden done it. He didn't. He may have asked for it, but it was Republicans and Democrats working together that achieved it. And we're at a point where MAGA Republicans don't want that to happen anymore. And there's probably some people on the left that don't agree with it either. But that's our only path to prosperity, is if they work together. So I feel like that when we sit here and we dog the country and say these numbers aren't good, we're kind of helping them undermine our success.
Mm. Well, politics is going to be politics. We know that, right?
Yeah. You got to kind of see through the BS of it, though.
I do that all the time.
A lot of it, right?
Yeah. But I feel like a lot of people are getting on the right, or getting on this bandwagon that the country ain't doing good, and the facts don't support that. The facts say that it is. We have a mess at the southern border, and that's a whole nother can of worms, that's being manipulated. We're not moving straight forward on that. Everybody's not acting in good faith on that.
Yep.
Every time they act in good faith, it seems like we have success.
Well,
I don't know how we get to a point where we could have more of that, but I think we should really highlight the success that they have as a group. Right now, in the MAGA world, if you do anything, work with the Democrat in any way, man, they want to destroy you over that. And I don't know how government works with that kind of mentality.
Well, you've got a lot of anti-Trumpers out there. We know what they're going to be doing. We've got a lot of anti-Biden folks. We know what they're going to be doing. They're going to be working against whoever, the whole party. I'm not talking about the whole party is going to be doing this, but there are going to be elements of both political parties that are extremist, right?
Yeah.
And when you say the economy is doing great, I look at the price of pretty much everything that I've had to buy lately. Pretty much everything. And I can go back and pull the same stuff down from years ago. And I'm not talking about decades ago. I'm talking about 2 or 3, 4 years ago. And the prices are just outrageous. You could go to Sam's, where I do a lot of shopping because I can buy it in bulk and it's generally a little bit cheaper, but even that's catching up. And it's much higher than it was. I blame it on the pandemic. I don't know what you want to blame it on. Blame it on the price of gasoline. Don't know what you want to blame it on, but we haven't fixed it.
I don't discredit what you're saying, Rayford, but the first thing that pops in my mind is that's the same thing my grandparents said about the in the 70s. That's the same thing my parents said in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Inflation's always been there. It's just how much is it? What rate is it growing?
Well, under Jimmy Carter, it was 13%.
It was up, but we have brought it down, as a country. And and Republicans and Democrats deserve credit for that. The ones that are in the middle doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, we keep highlighting what these extremist views are instead of highlighting what the actual people who are doing the work and getting stuff done are doing.
Yeah.
The Republican, I always keep forgetting his name, the senator who was the co-sponsor for the border bill. I don't understand how they are going to throw their own under the bus like that. That senator did exactly what the GOP sent him to do, and he got censored in his own state for that by the GOP. They're trying to destroy anybody who wants to try and work with their fellow Americans in this country, and that's a recipe for disaster. to be sure.
Okay.
But anyway, that's my thought.
All right, Steve, thank you, sir.
Too long on it, but
Thanks,
Steve.
Appreciate it.
all for today. Y'all have a blessed day.
You
You
too.
too. According to AAA, grass prices are going to go up this spring.
They've
They're already starting to
they've already
rise.
started.
Yes. I was looking at some of the states are hitting $4 already.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've noticed it topping out $3 here for the first time in a while.
Yes.
I'm still trying. Somebody going to have to explain to me why. I can't understand it. I don't know of any hurricanes that we've had to shut down refineries. I don't know of any nothing like that. Where's that gas pipeline that we wanted years ago?
Oh, wait. Didn't I get canceled?
Oh yeah, it did. They should have been in operation by now.
Yeah, back up to $3 again. That's what I paid for my last trip to the pump. And that was just last week.
I saw 312 over the weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, forgot
Wow.
where.
I got it just in time. Well, it's about gone anyway with all the driving I've been doing.
I'm thinking that I've started thinking about it. I'm seeing gas prices rise towards the weekend, and then they'll come down a little bit. I haven't checked it lately, but
Interesting. Yeah, well, price of roses and chocolates have gone up, and now you've got gas.
yeah, roses and chocolates. There you go. Good morning. Who's this?
It's Mike.
Hey, Mike. What's up?
Hi, Mike.
What's going on? Hey, I just wanted to know what planet or country Steve lives in, because the economy is not doing good. I don't know where he buys his goods from, but mine cost more across the board. Went to a drive-through yesterday, and on the window, due to rising prices on everything, they're going to raise their prices by 4% if you're using a debit card.
What?
You can keep
Oh,
the
yes.
prices the same if you use cash.
Yep.
So they want to bring cash back into the economy because the economy is doing so bad. Look at the interest rates. Look how high they are. Look at the price of lumber. Has he tried to buy a house? You know, I mean, I don't know what planet he lives on, but it's not this one.
Okay.
So I just wanted to throw that out there. And another thing, he talks about MAGA Republicans and what they think. I don't understand how he knows what they think, because it doesn't sound like he ever talks to any. Because the stuff he spews about them is the same that gets spewed on CNN. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay. Hey, Mike, I appreciate it,
Y'all
sir.
have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
too. Let's go ahead and take a break. You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. When we come back, we have a guest in the studio.
WSME.
Flatwoods Outfitters of Hubert looks forward to serving you throughout the new year with all your sporting arm needs and personal safety. Located at 111 Second Amendment Lane in Hubert between Jacksonville and Swansboro, Flatwoods Outfitters is Onslow County's oldest sporting and firearm facility. Flatwoods Outfitters has a long gun or pistol in stock to fit your need, whether for hunting or personal safety. Take advantage of their outdoor shooting range to practice or to learn how to safely operate your firearm, which Flatwoods highly recommends. At Flatwoods, you can sight in your scope to be sure of perfect accuracy to back that trophy. They carry all the major brand names of long guns, shotguns, and pistols, as well as ammunition. If you are interested in a concealed weapon permit, Flatwoods Outfitters can assist with that also. Flatwoods Outfitters, 111 Second Amendment Lane, just off Highway 24 in Hubert, where they aim to preserve our hunting heritage, wildlife, and Constitution. Being veteran-owned and operated since 1977, J&T Siding Incorporated takes this opportunity to thank those that serve for our most prized possession, our freedom. J&T Siding is proud to be a part of the built homes, aluminum, siding, roofing, garages, carports, patios, room additions, and sunrooms. Free estimates happily provided. Visit J&T Siding, 914C Henderson Drive right here in Jacksonville, online at jtsiding.com or by phone 910-346-8750 for J&T Siding.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane and Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane and Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE. D or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry. Great Gas and Oil Company, and of course, Wismart and Chappie's Chicken, located at 4111 Gum Branch Road, right here in Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert, has all you need when it comes to convenience for gas, cold beverages, and a great selection for quick pickup essentials. Enjoy fresh, not frozen, delicious meals at Chappie's Chicken, located inside Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert. So if you're in a hurry, get it all. Gas, ice cold beverages, convenience store items, and delicious, fresh, not frozen, Chappie's Chicken at Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And as I said, we got a special guest in the studio. Anthony Street, also known as Tony Street, and Tony Wayne Street, Anthony Wayne Street. Did I get them all?
However, just call me 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Got that. Can call you when oysters are around too, right?
Yes, sir.
You do commercial fishing?
I have spent much of my adult life involved in commercial fishing, mainly in shrimping and oystering.
I like both of them.
So do I.
I ordered a little shrimp oyster basket the other day. Got 8 little oysters on it for $12.99.
You got ripped.
I know I got ripped. They were good, but there was not many of them.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the price. Well, I know the price of oysters have gone up. I mean, I spend $80, $85 a bushel. That's like, wow. Used to be $3 a bushel.
Well, the market down in Varnamtown is paying $45 a bushel, and then they wash them and sell them for $55 or $60.
Oh, really? I don't want mine washed. I want mine with the mud on them, with whatever they come from. I wash them when I get ready to eat them.
Yes, sir.
I come from a long line of oyster eaters. So they're much better that way. Anyway, oysters aside, you're running for a state auditor?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Well, I've always had to work for a living. And so I value the dollar.
Okay.
And so it hurts me deeply when I see government at any level wasting our hard-earned tax dollars. So I thought, who go to Raleigh and declare war on wasteful spending to work for a living? And besides that, I've public service. I've always wanted to work in government. I like to consider myself to be a fiscal, moral, social conservative. And I'm concerned about the nosedive that we tend to be taking as a country, economically, morally, and spiritually.
Right.
Well said.
So are we better off economically speaking now than we were, I don't know, 10 years ago?
I don't feel so. My wallet and my bank account don't seem to indicate that we would be.
Interest rates are astronomical.
Absolutely.
Well, what exactly does the North Carolina auditor do?
He or she is charged by the state constitution to be responsible, to assume the duties of being the watchdog of the public purse. Whereas the treasurer holds the public purse, the auditor is responsible for reviewing how that money was spent. I like to say how effectively, efficiently, and conservatively it was spent, to ensure that the taxpayers receive the maximum amount of return on their investment, because it is their money being spent. And I think too often folks in Washington and Raleigh forget that it is our money.
They don't have money. Government does not have money. They take it.
The government does not have the ability to produce wealth.
Right.
All they can do is print money.
Yep.
And we see where that's getting us.
With your dealings with, because I know you've been in the political world for some time, dating back to what, 2020? And have you seen anything? Have you delved into our state budget? Have you seen anything that causes you concern?
One main thing I keep pointing to when I'm giving speeches around the state is the field of education. It constitutes the largest percentage of our state's budget, and yet I don't see us getting the return on that investment that we should be getting when so many of our students below proficiency levels in English and math. As much money as we're spending in that field, we should be getting much greater returns.
I had a guy last week, young man, 18, I think he just turned, buying his first boat. I did some work down at a marina part-time. And I'm also an agent with North Carolina Wildlife, so I can run registrations, right? He couldn't sign his name. He had to print it. They don't teach him anymore.
Is that so they won't be able to read the Constitution and know what our rights are?
I don't know why. Somebody's going to have to explain that to me. He literally could not do it. His mother was helping him, and then he was trying to copy the way she did it.
That's sad. Very sad.
It is sad.
So I'm with you on that part. There are some issues. Our teachers do a great job. Policies sometimes suck.
I'll never bash our teachers. I think they do the best job they can do. I think it's the bureaucracy, namely the Board of Elections in Raleigh.
Mm-hmm. Board of Elections or Board of Education? Board of Education.
Board of Education.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me.
That's just one of the areas that I've got a beef with as well. And I've mentioned it several times. Back in the days when I was a television news director there in Wilmington, I would get letters from inmates in prison wanting to explain themselves. They couldn't compose a sentence, couldn't spell, all handwritten, most of it printed. And that's just been years ago. But they graduated from high school. Somebody failed them.
Mm-hmm.
Should never have graduated.
Well, Anthony, what do you think is or is not working well under our current office holder in the auditor's office?
Well, as you know, we have someone appointed in that position right now because our last auditor resigned after she had to plead guilty to a hit and run. I think that we need to delve into making audits much more noticeable to the public. I mean, you can go on their website and read the audits they've done, but I think there needs to be much more activity with auditing state agencies, including the DOT. And we need to do more about PR work, public relations, getting the message of what the auditor's office does out to the public, because all too often, most people aren't even familiar with the auditor's office and the work that they do. As I've traveled around the state and spoke with people, that's what I have found. And so I want to greatly increase our public presence if I'm elected.
Understand, yes. Well, how would you prioritize the state programs and agencies that should be audited? Because I understand there are some agencies that haven't been audited in quite a long time.
That's what I have seen as well. I think we should start with those that require the most money to find the most wasted spending. Education, the DOT, social services.
I agree. Those that haven't been audited in a while too.
Yes.
Those, because sometimes
Absolutely.
it's the small programs that you're spending pennies on that are not being used wisely. So, man, there's so many. How many programs are there in the state? Do you know off the top of your head?
I cannot name a number.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
Would you be in favor of, or and maybe you are, maybe that's how it works. Officer goes in and they find so many discrepancies. You know, there's a thing called the State Bureau of Investigation out there that it can do criminal stuff as well. If it looks like it's intentional, not just wasteful, would you call in the SBI?
I still would. How can I know for sure whether it was an intentional or not?
Right. Okay. Let them do a cursory exam. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
If you want to make a call, if you want to ask Tony something, give us a call now. Tony Street, running for state auditor, 910-333-0139. You're live and local Real Talk. Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Freedom 97.1.
Chico's Tires, 2320 Wilmington Highway is Jacksonville's oldest tire company, and now Jacksonville's newest tire company is Little Chico's, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard. Little Chico's carries all the major brands and all sizes, such as Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, and many others, and all new tires have warranty. In addition to a great selection of new tires, Little Chico's has used tires starting at only $30. In addition to new and used tires, Little Chico's does brake service, minor auto and truck repair, expert custom window tinting, and towing. So if you need tires, new or used, brake service, minor auto or truck repair, expert window tinting, or if you need a tow, visit Jacksonville's newest tire store, Little Chico's, 1675 North Marine Boulevard. By phone, 910-333-0473 for Little Chico's Tire Service, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard, right here in Jacksonville.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want to paint and maintain, power wash, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team, serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing needs. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations at Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax, we're on the way.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
In the studio with us is Anthony Street. He's a candidate for state auditor here in North Carolina. If you want to ask him a question, like, where's my money? You can do that now. 910-333-0139. Where is my money? Is it being used properly?
Well, I don't see the waste at the state level that I do at the federal level, obviously, but I still think your state tax dollars can be better invested than what they are being. The auditor doesn't have the authority to redirect the funds. He or she can only call attention to what is being done, present the evidence to the voters and to the state legislature. I believe an informed electorate is an empowered electorate. If you know what to complain about, you can call your school board members, county commissioners, state reps, and senators, and sound much more intelligent and be much more influential when you gripe about what's being done, when you know what's being done. So our state treasurer, Dale Falwell, has done a marvelous job of running around the state speaking to not just Republican Party groups, but any kind of civic group that will host them. and educating them. And I would like to imitate the work he has done as auditor. I want to run around and educate the public and tell them what I find as auditor, so that.
One of the things we've seen around here, people going to the school board, going to the county commissioners, is a group of people I call the dissidents. Yes, they have a right to complain and everything else, but sometimes they are on so far left field or extreme right field that they put out false information. And that's one of the biggest problems that we see, that pretty much all of us observe around here. A small group, but they're noisy.
Yes, sir.
Are they going to make a difference? Probably not. But if they would just find somebody that they could get the right information from, whether it's the school board or the county commissioners or whoever, and get the right information instead of spreading false garbage and getting in front of a TV camera and
It's
having a good
important to
time.
have your facts straight.
Yeah. Now, state auditor, all of your books are open, right? For any audits that you do.
Yes, sir. And the state auditor has the power to subpoena information from any agency, from the smallest municipality up to the largest state agency.
Why would you have to subpoena it? That's all public information.
Well,
under the Freedom of Information Act.
Yes, it should be readily available to anyone who requests it, but sometimes I have found that is not necessarily true.
Roadblocks.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you, looking over the budget, I'm sure you have because you've run a couple times over the budget for the state. Are there any really glaring areas there? I know you say education, you'd like to take a deeper dive into it, but are there any other areas like building a road to nowhere or anything like that that you've run into?
Well, none come to mind, but yes, there are a lot of projects like that don't seem to return any benefit back to the taxpayer. And I would be very much in favor of researching just as many of them as investigating, I guess is the right word, as many of them as I possibly can, and reporting those to the taxpayers in hopes that their state representatives and will do a much better job of investigating spending their money from now on.
How you say you're a commercial fisherman. You've been to UNCW, right?
Yes, sir, and UNC Pembroke. I have a bachelor's and a master's.
Okay. And what do you have? What credentials do you have other than your education there to be state auditor?
Well, I spent 10 years serving on Brunswick County Soil and Water Board.
Okay.
And while there, we had to draft budgets and approve a large number of things. I have a master's in public administration, and while pursuing that, I studied business and economics and budgeting and finance. And I'm a man who has signed both sides of a check. I have been employed. So I look at everything from a business perspective. I can't spend money unless I see that I'm going to make a profit on it. And no government agency should spend your tax dollars unless you're going to see a return on your investment.
Got to get something for what we spend.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's your time and money being spent.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't feel like it, that I get my return on the investment.
I can understand.
And it keeps going up and they take more and more and more. Okay.
I have another question. You want to do Fox News first?
Yeah, let's do Fox News. You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. Fox News is now.
WSME, Kempley Show, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Pelosi, a bipartisan group of senators worked through the night to pass a $95 billion foreign aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan in a 70-29 vote, with some Republicans breaking from their party to support the measure.
Senators voting in the affirmative: Butler, Cortez Masto, Duckworth, Durbin, Ernst.
The bill faces an uncertain future in the House. Republicans there want border security in the package, even though last week they failed to pass a measure that coupled foreign aid with border measures. Last week, the House also failed to impeach DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, but tonight they're going to try again. And more than 35 million people from West Virginia all the way up to Maine are waking up to a winter storm alerts this morning, a massive nor'easter barreling up the East Coast. America is listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1.
WSME.
It's live and local. Real talk.
Okay, we're back. And again, our guest in the studio, running for state auditor, is Tony Creech. Tony Creech. God, this goes way back. I knew it, Tony Creech. Tony Street.
Well, maybe we were talking about water and oysters, and you had creek on your mind.
I just went in another world. So,
I just wanted to ask, how would you make sure that politically connected people and companies are not unfairly benefiting from state spending and contracts?
Well, we'll have to see where the money's going and see what companies our state agencies are doing business with, and see who the stakeholders are.
That's right. Yeah.
you don't have any auditor should not have, I assume, any control over the election campaign spending, do you?
I don't think
Well,
that. I think that
that's
falls
a
under the Board of Elections.
I
Right,
believe.
right.
So,
Well,
okay.
Tony, I had somebody just ask me, what do you do now for a living?
I'm a small business owner. I have and continue to work in construction, trucking, and commercial fishing.
Well, you've got your hands in everything, don't you?
I have found that to stay busy, it's necessary to diversify.
Things
like
can
that.
change in a heartbeat.
Yes, I like that. Very good. So are you're ready and willing to move to Raleigh?
Yes, ma'am. And I have wanted to be able to have the opportunity to serve my state for a long time, and I understand that would require me relocating from my beautiful home at Holden Beach to the metropolis of Raleigh, and the challenges that would
They have
entail.
a big lake out there. At least you
No
can-
oysters in that lake.
No, I know, no oysters, but you can go fishing at least. Take your boat up there with you.
No, my boat won't fit in that lake.
No, your boat will not. So, are you going to? I was speaking of a former state auditor. Did the state ever come up with anything about driving the state-owned car for personal business? Would you do that?
I have mentioned it numerous times. I think that anyone who is serving our state and has been elected to such a high office as auditor should show more responsibility and more respect for public property.
Very good.
Yeah, definitely. Very good.
Yeah,
All right,
that
Kes,
was-
do you have a website for your campaign?
It is currently down. We hope to have it back up sometime soon.
Okay.
Good. Well, I've got your information on there, and I know you have a Facebook if somebody wants to follow you on Facebook
I most certainly do.
or send you a message on Facebook. So you can do that also. Anthony Street is on Facebook.
There you
so.
go. All right. Tony, we appreciate you driving all the way up here from Brunswick
Thank
County.
you.
It's been a pleasure to be here. I greatly appreciate the opportunity.
So if I go down to Holden Beach, I can find oysters in the mud for $45 a bushel then, right?
Well, they've gotten really hard to find around the
He's
Holden
not
Beach area.
Korean.
That's why I have to leave home and drive all the way up to Topsail Beach.
Okay, so if I go to Topsail Beach, are they $45 a bushel there?
Why don't you just get in the boat and go out there with me and you can get your own?
There you go.
I can do that too.
You could do that.
All right, Tony, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
We do
coming all the way in from Holden Beach.
Absolutely. So you have a good rest of your day and good drive back too.
Y'all too. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, interesting. I do like the fishing folks.
Yes, he does.
So it's always fun to have one.
Well, I knew you'd like that.
Yeah.
Y'all had that in common.
Yeah, we did. Sure. I did Lots of oyster in the days. I actually dove for oysters for a while. We used
Did
to do
you
that.
really?
Yeah, yeah. We used to go down to Sneeze Ferry, and there's one little spot there. Before the
you-
oyster tongs and the oyster dredges are out there, the tongs, the
Did
10
you
feet
wear
long.
gloves that were entwined with steel?
No. You can just pick them up on the bottom.
Ah,
Sometimes they're in the mud there, and I take a little hand rake, like a yard rake thing,
Right.
a small one, and just take them, rake them out of the mud, and pick them up, put them in a basket. We'd do that in
Yes.
a heartbeat.
yes. I used to, I've never done that.
Hmm.
I mean, like I was telling you during the commercial, I gigged for flounder.
Mhm.
You know, I used to go out there, but I have never actually gone and brought up oysters. But you said that you would just pick them up, pop them up, and eat them raw like
Yep.
that. I think I like mine steamed.
Oh, dude.
I've never tried 'em
That
raw.
really cold, very salty. When that thing pops open, oh, it is so good,
Yes.
especially in the wintertime when it's really cold. So, okay, anybody else want to chat this morning? Now's your time, 910-333-0139. An American woman from Los Angeles and a man from Belize have been killed in what appears to have been a drug dispute between dealers at a beach club
Oh,
in the
wow.
Mexican city of Tulum.
Mm.
I don't know how you pronounce it. Prosecutors in the Caribbean coast state of Quintana Roo stressed the American woman had no connection to a drug dealer also killed in the shooting Friday night. Prosecutors did not provide the woman's name, and the U.S. Embassy did not respond to a request for comment. The woman may have simply been caught in the crossfire. Prosecutors denied reports in local media that the two victims, may have been a couple, saying a photo of the man showed him with a completely different woman. He was wounded, she was killed. The Central American country of Belize shares a border with Mexico on the Caribbean coast. You know, Mexico, you got your own problems, but I really prefer that you keep it there or move
Seriously.
it south. If I was in your
I'm
shoes, I would
sorry.
move that stuff south. Would not want, no.
We have beautiful beaches here. I'm happy just staying right here on the East Coast.
Yep.
My granddaughter the other day, she was like, let's take a trip to Germany. I was like, nope.
Why?
Let's take a trip to Europe. Nope. We're fine right here.
I'm good.
Too much going on in the world
Yeah,
right
there
now.
is.
It
There's
just
a-
worries me. I just wanted to let everybody know too, Monday,
Mhm.
February 19th, all branches of the Onslow County Library going to be closed. The staff is undergoing training. So if you've got a book that's going to be late, go drop it in Dropbox. But they'll all be closed Monday. We'll reopen Tuesday. Staff training to better serve the citizens of Onslow County. So thank you, Onslow County Library. You know, when's the last time you went to a library?
Oh, it's been 5 or 6 years ago. I had to
Really?
go over to Northwoods, yeah.
Wow, it's been longer than that for me.
Hmm.
Because I used to go just mainly to get books to read, but now you can do so much online.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a Kindle reader, so I read a lot of books
Yeah.
that way. But I'm just wondering, do people use the library like they used to?
I see cars over there when I'm on Doris East.
Yeah. How about, do you have any encyclopedias in this house?
Not now.
Not now.
No, because the last ones I bought were in 1970.
Oh, outdated a little bit.
A little
but,
bit.
But the thing about it is, you know, it used to be you walked into anybody's house, they had a bookcase and they had a set of
That's
encyclopedias.
because they had door-to-door encyclopedia
Well,
salesmen.
yeah, I know, because this one had to deliver a lot of those boxes of encyclopedias. I will not tell you the words that went through the carriers, the vocabulary that came out of
Mhm.
them when we had, you know, like 20 boxes of encyclopedias to deliver. It was rough.
My parents had from the early 50s, and they had it till not too long ago, 15 years ago or so, maybe 20. They had Collier encyclopedias. I
remember Collier.
I had
They have the dictionary too,
Encyclopedia
yes.
Britannica,
Right.
and I got annually for a bunch of years. I got their annual updated version book, just a
Right.
big book, yearbook, I think
Yes.
is what they called it. But I used to have those also read, and the problem is, along comes the internet.
Yes.
I could trust the encyclopedias more than I can the internet because I now have to go to 48 different sources to verify everything that's on there.
But you know, you bring up a good valid point though, because something will come up and I'll think, I want some information on that. And all I do is plug it in and boom, there's so many articles on it. You can get so much.
Some of it's misinformation. It's like the
Right,
shooting
right.
we're talking about this morning
Mm-hmm.
with the church on Sunday.
Right.
As a 5-year-old on the one that I have, a 7-year-old on the one that Kelly had.
Right.
And then the shooter was born a man on the one that I had become a woman, and apparently had gotten married, and they're calling this its biological child, which is impossible if indeed that story was right. So, we got so many different versions of the truth.
Yeah, that's one thing about it. When you're doing news stories like that, there's so many different versions, and you just, and I know so many people that will read something on the internet and swear it's the gospel.
Oh God, yes. And if they see it on Facebook, it is just,
true.
It's true. It's true. I saw it on Facebook. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey guys, it's Steve again.
Hey,
Sorry
Steve
to call
again.
twice. I just wanted to rebuttal to the guy who called after me. I know that prices at the gas station and the grocery store affect us directly, but that's not the economy. The economy is a lot more than that. And those prices at the gas station and the grocery store are affected by corporate greed. If you look at the public statements of the earnings that some of these big box stores have put out, they've reported record profits every 3 months for the last 3.5 years. And during that time, they raised prices 30% at a time they're reporting record profits. They're just gouging us and saying it's inflation. Normal inflation, you would see a dip in their profits, and then they have to raise prices to absorb that loss.
Well,
but that's not the case.
Here's what they're doing today, Steve. They have teams both at the gas stations and everywhere else. They have teams that look out there and say, we've got information that the prices are going to be raised. Our costs are going to go up. We already know that the cost of diesel fuel went dramatically out of sight there, and that's how the big box stores get all of their goods, and the grocery stores get all of their groceries. They don't grow them in the backyard, I wish they did. So they anticipate what it's going to be. It's like before a hurricane, the prices of gas always go up because they're anticipating one that's affecting the United States, that somewhere along the Gulf Coast, there's going to be an oil refinery that's going to shut down for a period of time because of the hurricane. We anticipate that's going to happen, so let's raise the price of gas. They've admitted this.
I get what you're saying, Rafer, but then that would be reflected in their public earnings statement. You would see that they had an increase in overhead and they increased their prices to absorb that overhead, but they're actually making a profit off of that increase that they have to make.
Yeah,
they're reporting record profits every time.
Exactly what I was saying.
A plateau, but there would be a plateau if it was true. You would see that they raised their prices, but their profits didn't increase.
No.
But when they raise their prices, their profits increase.
Okay, here's what I was trying to make a point of. When they anticipate that the prices are going to go up, and they've got guys who do investigations and sneaky stuff all the time, when they anticipate it, they go ahead and raise their prices. Therefore, they have an actual increase in their profits during that time. And they don't bring them down, they bring them up again when they actually increase. Check them and see. There are guys out there who know that.
And I get what you're saying. They try to say that there's going to be an increase in overhead, and then they increase the price and there's no increase in overhead.
Well, there may be an increase in
out as record profits.
Yeah, but there may be an increase in overhead 3 months down the road, and by that time, we're in another quarter, and they've already made a bunch of extra money. And then at that end of that quarter, they're going to raise the prices again when the prices actually go up.
So my point is that there's a cause and effect. You can look at their earnings and you can see that you can go back and look at inflation in the past and big corporations, and you can see a dip in profits, and then they raise prices, and then they don't report record profits after that. That's something is become a new thing here in the United States recently, is all these companies that are making addicted to record profits.
They are.
But my point is, it's just like with the economic numbers. if there was a Republican in the White House right now, you don't think the Republicans wouldn't be holding up these economic numbers like the Holy Grail, talking about how good they were?
I don't have a clue, but I would not put it past them.
You know they would. You know they would. Anybody who's in office is going to brag about these numbers. It don't matter if it's a Democrat or Republican, and the ones that are not in office are going to try and throw some kind of dark cloud over it. Us as Americans have to look at it and say, are these numbers better than any numbers we've had in the past? They are. They're really good. The lowest unemployment in 50 years, and that's been sustained for 22 months now. That's not because of Joe Biden necessarily, but it is a good number. And they want you to believe that it's not. And that's just false. You know, everybody has a opinion, but if your opinion is not supported by the facts, what does that say about your opinion?
How many of those employment numbers include the illegals that have come into this country?
I'm not really sure what you mean by that, because if they're truly illegal, it's illegal to employ them.
Well, you don't think that happens? I know for a fact it happens. I've watched it.
I get it happens, but it's not going to add 389,000 jobs in the month of January.
Mm-hmm. But are people taking up those jobs? Why are we still running commercials on this radio station?
Again, your critical standpoint about these numbers because of Democrats in the White House.
No, I'm not.
So you're trying to be critical of this number and say that there's something in there that makes it not accurate.
I didn't say that.
Well, you're trying to imply that it's illegal aliens is the reason why the numbers are so good.
No, I'm just asking you, do you think that any of these people who are illegals have been employed and they are counted as employed and with new jobs?
Could they be a few in that number? It's possible, Rayford. I can't deny you that, but I mean, to make a point on something so trivial is part of what I'm saying the problem is.
And back in the days of,
I mean, you can attribute that maybe there's a couple of people, illegal aliens, that got hired, and that might be in that number, but that's not going to be representative of any significant amount of that number.
Okay, you attacked me because if I had been a Republican in office, I wouldn't have done whatever. You're wrong, because back in the Bush days, that's when I observed the illegals that were being paid under the table on a construction job that I was intimately familiar with. Not by me, of course, but because I don't do construction. But I watched it happen. They couldn't speak English. One of them could, and he was the translator for the rest of them. That same group got paid under the table, no taxes taken out, nothing taken out. And they were paid, I think it was $6 an hour in those days. So they weren't even making minimum wage. But it was better than making minimum wage and having taxes taken out. Once a month, they would pool all their money and make a swoop down to Mexico with a load of cash and leave it there for their families.
And I agree with you. That's true.
That was during Bush days.
How much of the actual all the construction projects that were going on at that time did that represent?
I don't know.
I've seen it too. I was in construction, from the early '80s on up to just recently, and I mean, yeah, I've seen it. I have seen that as well, Rayford. But that wasn't representative of the majority of the workforce.
Well, it's the majority of some of the laborers that I was familiar with. But anyway,
they were a lot. I'm not going to deny you that, but it wasn't representative of the. I mean, I was working at Camp Lejeune in the early '90s, and on projects where we had, close to 200 brick masons and laborers, and yeah, there was some people in there that I didn't believe were legitimate.
They're not supposed to be there.
Representative of the group. It was a minority.
That's illegal to be working aboard Camp Lejeune.
We can talk about that for a long time, but my point is that the economy is about more than the prices at the grocery store and the gas station, even though that's what affects us directly.
It does affect us directly, and I think that is part of our economy.
That's my rebuttal to the guy who called in, is that research more, fact check more. Don't believe me. Don't believe the news media. If you don't read, you're probably not hearing the truth.
All right, Steve. Thank you, sir.
Got to do weather.
You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. Weather is next.
97.1 WSME.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
If you plan to rebuild, remodel, repair, or do cottage or home improvements, Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City, should be your first stop. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies, along with Gerber, Buck, and Case knives. Williams Hardware is your helpful, handy hardware store. Williams Hardware cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington grill from Williams Hardware. Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City, open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 to 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 910-326-5383. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
Gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Wismart and Chappie's Chicken. And for over 50 years, Great Gas and Oil Company has kept our community comfortable year-round with quality heating and cooling products and dependable service. In addition to heating and air conditioning service, Great Gas and Oil Company does generators, tankless water heaters, and quality appliance repair. For service, phone 910-347-7138. Locally owned and operated by Jerry and Jeff Allen and Bobby and Louise Williams.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Hey, the doors are open now, in about 3 minutes or so, down at Tideline Marine. In the market for a new boat or a new-to-you boat, Tideline has a number of boats for sale. If you like your boat, but your motor is just shot, you're fired up about it, it won't fire up itself, maybe it just doesn't perform like it once did, you should check out the only motors made in the United States, Mercury Outboards, in stock from 15 to 300 horsepower. If you're new to the area, or you may not have visited Tideline Marine in a while, you'll be pleasantly surprised with what you see. Trailers, fishing rigs, a wall of fishing lures, and lots of parts if you're into the do-it-yourself mode. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street, on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Blustery out there today, low pressure through today with unsettled weather expected through this evening. A gale warning in effect from this morning through this afternoon. Offshore today, westerly winds 25 to 35 knots, a few gusts up to 50, decreasing to 40 in the afternoon. Seas 9 to 12 feet, subsiding to 7 to 10 feet this afternoon. Near shore seas 7 to 10 feet, subsiding to 5 to 8 this afternoon. Dominant period 9 seconds. Sounds and rivers very rough. Northwesterly winds on Wednesday 15 to 20 with gusts up to 25, diminishing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon. Thursday, northeasterly winds 5 to 10, becoming southwesterly 10 to 15 in the afternoon, then becoming westerly 15 to 20, seas 2 to 3 feet, building to 3 to 5, sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop in the afternoon.
My goodness. That's a lot. In other words, just stay on land.
Yeah.
Today it's mostly sunny with a high near 58, breezy with a northwest wind 16 to 22 miles per hour with gusts as high as 46. Tonight, clear with a low around 36, northwest wind 6 to 10 with gusts as high as 15 miles per hour. With a high near 57, northwest winds 5 to 11. Gust as high as 18. Wednesday night, clear with a low around 34. And Thursday, sunny with a high near 63. I'll take it.
Yeah, I will too.
I'll take it.
You know who this guy Swalwell is? Representative Eric Swalwell out of California.
Yes.
Did you read anything on his?
No.
His campaign has regularly dropped large amounts of money on luxury items such as posh hotels, flights, yachts, and limousines, including international travel.
Nice.
And the Congressman
Whoa.
makes about 174 grand, right?
Oh, to start.
According
yes.
to its year-end filing, Swalwell's committee reported 3 payments for nearly $1,700 in Dubai at the 5-star hotel there, considered the city's most iconic hotel and one of the tallest hotels in the world. That's not all. The hotel boasts of being a global icon of Arabian luxury. It features an array of suites starting at around $1,300 per night and has a private beach, 2 outdoor and indoor swimming pools, a spa, 8 restaurants, and 2 bars. The Dubai expense was not the only time his campaign spent internationally in 2023. The committee previously paid thousands of dollars for hotels and restaurants in London and Germany. The committee spent nearly $90,000 on travel expenses the last 3 months of 2023 alone, including at various other hotels, such as One Hotel San Francisco, Austin Proper Hotel, and the Times Square Edition. Well, he's running for a regional office, a district office. What's he got business in Dubai, in San Antonio? San Francisco, I can understand because he's from California.
Right. There's no reason to go to Dubai.
On top of the hotels, the travel expenses included nearly $47,000 in airfare, primarily with United and American. His committee also spent nearly 45 grand on private security and just under 7,000 on Sunny's executive sedan, which offers its clients limousines and other luxury cars and SUVs. Campaign's disbursement report also showed the campaign dropping more than $1,200 on the Washington Suite Life, which promotes itself as the premier luxury suite brokerage firm in Washington. There's also a $5,300 payment to Fan Experiences, LLC, a company that helps with tickets to sporting events and concerts. The company specializes in NCAA and NFL tickets. One listing in the report shows $1,500 charge on December 4th for fundraising event tickets at Aramark and Lincoln Financial Field, which is where the Philadelphia Eagles play. According to the Eagles schedule, they played the San Francisco 49ers. That's the team that Swalwell loves. I wonder how he did on on Sunday. Swalwell has cheered on the 49ers in several social media posts in past years. He was at the Super Bowl, and he was wearing a 49ers attire. Also shows thousands of dollars being spent in luxury restaurants. $871 spent on 4 transactions at Charlie Palmer's. $895 spent on 2 transactions at El Presidente. More than $600 spent on 3 transactions at Four Seasons Bourbon Steakhouse. $717 spent on 2 transactions at Joe's Seafood, among other charges. Come on. This is people's campaign. This is people's contributions to his campaign, and he's using it for this.
Well, we have someone in our state that's running for a higher office that there's a lot of questions over his campaign finance from 2020. So I think that if you had the time and you had nothing else to do in life, but sit down and go through a lot of campaign finances with some of these state and federal officials, you would learn a lot.
How much is it worth to this guy and to his contributors for him to go to get reelected to a House seat, a U.S. District House seat in California, which there are a bunch of House seats in California? How much is it worth to him and to them?
Well,
just this alone.
let me just say, if I had contributed to that person's campaign
I'd be mad.
and I found out that they were taking money from their campaign fund and spending it foolishly and illegally, they would never get another dime from me. And I don't know if I wouldn't go as far as to send them a letter and say, I want my money back.
That's right. I want a refund.
I've been tempted to do that here, not locally, but I'm very disappointed that my hard-earned money has gone to somebody that has abused their campaign finance. And that upsets me. Locally, I don't worry about it. These candidates locally don't raise enough money to, they raise just enough to cover their expenses.
That foreign aid bill that just passed the Senate
Oh, my
with the
gosh.
help of 22 senators, including Tillis.
Right.
What was one of the big selling points for that bill?
The border?
It's been eliminated.
Really?
They passed it, foreign aid bill, without border security provision.
And money going to Ukraine and the money going to illegal aliens instead of the vets. That's in that bill too?
I don't think that's in that bill. That's just the way things were.
I'll tell you, trying to keep up the United States Congress is a headache. I can't figure out what's going on half the time. They spend so much time in committees going after people. And then when they do have a bill to vote on, it's chaotic. If you've ever watched them on the floor debating a bill, it is chaotic.
I wouldn't want to be there.
Oh.
Okay, what have you got? Anything?
Did you read the story that just came out about a shipwreck that was found in Lake Superior? But it's the captain's behavior when this sank that still has everyone baffled. It was the SS Arlington sank in a storm after leaving a port in Ontario in May 1940. And researchers have just recently recovered the wreckage. But it was a Canadian ship carrying wheat across Lake Superior and started to sink in a storm on May 1st, 1940. And while his crew clambered into a life, they gazed upon a strange sight. Across the stormy waters was their captain, Frederick Burke, known as Tatybug, waving to them from Arlington's deck moments before he went under with his ship.
Uh-oh.
The odd behavior of a captain, a solitary figure who was left alone after his men escape, remains a mystery. The question is whether he was saying, hey, hold the lifeboat, or waving goodbye. Still unknown. Hey, hold the lifeboat. And
Went down with his boat, didn't he?
yes, he did. That was strange.
Okay, let's see. Well, we had a caller.
Not just a
So
blinking.
now online.
Hey, this is Ed.
Hey, Ed, what's up?
Hey, not much. Wonder, have y'all had any discussion on the negative ads on Mark Robinson?
No?
No, have you got something that you want to say?
Well, of course, there's the one about he thought the Holocaust was fake, and now this one that only men were born to lead. I just wonder if y'all have like to comment on that.
I know there were some negative ads being put out, and they're taking some of his words that he made about the Holocaust, and I've seen him say that he'll apologize at the way he said it, but he's not apologizing for what he said. So, no, but we really haven't gotten into it. I know that there's a lot of negative ads out there on him right now, mainly by another Republican, Bill Graham, that's running against him.
So what do you think about his comments?
Well, like I say, a lot of it was taken out of content, I guess, but he hasn't responded to these, which that's kind of bad. It doesn't look good on him. I wish he would come out and clarify these comments.
Well, one thing I will say about Mark Robinson, he remains true to his convictions. I may not agree with everything that he says or does, but he's not faltered from his remarks that he has made or his convictions just because he's running for office. For that, I'll give him kudos. There's a lot of stuff that's come out, a lot of stuff about his campaign finance for 2020. He's under investigation for that. And I don't know. There's not really been any discussion on him. Nobody's called in about it. But I would say vet your candidates and research it, because what you might see on one media source may be completely different on another media source. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Hey, Ben, appreciate it.
Thanks, Ed.
Okay, thank you.
You take care. Let's take a break. You're live and local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME, and we'll be right back.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, 910-346-6384. If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
Hello, shoppers. Don't forget to take advantage of the weekly specials at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, where good things cost less, on the Richlands Highway here in Jacksonville and Main Street in Maysville. And remember to sign up for Pig Perks, where you get 1 point for every dollar that you spend. How about Sweetheart boneless ribeye steak for just $10.99 a pound? Boneless chuck roast is only $5.99 a pound. 10 pounds or more fresh ground chuck is only $3.99 a pound. Whole Boston butt, just $1.49 a pound. St. Louis style pork ribs, $1.99 a pound. Whole chickens, just $1.49 a pound. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, and they use only the finest and certified Angus beef and Sanderson's Farm chicken. Over in produce, you get a 2-pound package of fresh strawberries for just $5.98. Holy guacamole, buy one, get one free. 14-ounce shredded lettuce, $2.99 a bag. Russet baking potatoes, 99 cents a pound. A dozen premium rose bouquets, just $27.99. 1 pint of fresh blueberries are only $3.99. Hot jalapeno peppers, $1.99 a pound. And large California lemons, just 69 cents each. And you get 3 6-packs of the 16-ounce size of Pepsi or Mountain Dew for just $11. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, where good things cost less. Down home, down the street on the Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. Remember, stay big with the P.
Head out to the Swansboro Area Business Showcase on Saturday, February 24th at the beautiful Swansboro Rotary Civic Center. Doors open at 10 a.m. Admission is free. Check out products and services from area companies. Sample free signature menu items from local restaurants from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. Enjoy entertainment on the big stage from youth organizations and local groups. For more information, log on to swansborochamber.org or call 910-326-1174.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME.
Okay, we're back. We're talking. Still got lots of political ads running. We got some more that will start Thursday.
Thursday.
First day of voting, early voting.
Inundated with political ads.
It's going to be interesting.
Right.
Yeah, we got interviews for the next 3 days here from some of the candidates.
Yes, we do. I'm
Oh,
going
yeah,
to
a bunch of
try
them.
once again to reach out to some of, especially the local, bounce back and see if I can find some other way to get out.
Well, all we
I'll
can do is
try.
all we can do is offer,
That's right.
and if they don't take us up on it,
Right.
that's their bad. Okay, what else we got cooking here?
Oh, well, we were talking the other day about Ronna McDaniel that was said that after the South Carolina primary, she was going to step down as the Republican National Committee one.
Mhm.
She's the committee chair. And it was being said that Trump has thrown our GOP chairman for the state, Michael Watley's name out there, that he would like to see Michael Watley be the chair. Now he's trying to endorse his daughter, Laura, to be the
Mhm.
co-chair.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. I'm like, I don't know about that. That kind of means that Trump will take over the Republican Party completely.
Well, yep, pretty much.
So, yeah.
But anyway, he's proposing that Watley, like you say, and then Laura, his daughter-in-law, to be the vice chair.
Right, right. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. That's just like, so I've heard like in the town of Swansboro, you know how like the county here does, you've got different things that committees that people can apply to be appointed to that committee,
Mhm.
like, streets and recreation or whatever. There's a whole bunch of different committees that citizens apply to be on and to discuss things and present it to the commissioners, et cetera. But I understand that a lot of the commissioners in Swansboro now are not renewing those that have been on the committee and putting their family members in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I'd like to kind of hear more about that as what's going on there.
Yeah.
And the election's underway right now to replace Congressman George Santos.
Yeah.
Boy, that was a story in itself, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
He was a colorful character.
Yeah.
And once again, taking campaign money that people have given in good faith and spending it on other things.
Mhm.
So.
Robert
Yeah.
F. Kennedy.
Yes.
They call him Junior, but I thought when the senior died that you were then not the junior anymore. Is that not right?
Well, then, can't answer that question.
I thought
Do
that was
you
just-
become senior? No,
No, you
because
wouldn't, unless there's
still
somebody
have
behind
senior.
you. Unless there's a third behind you that would become the junior, and you'd advance to senior.
No, because we have a senior, junior, third. Seniors passed away, of course, but junior stayed junior and third stayed third.
Where's that?
My family.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the proper protocol.
I don't know what the proper protocol is. I
We'll
have
discuss
no
that at
clue.
another time.
Yes,
Anyway,
that's interesting.
Kennedy was asked whether he believes President Biden should step aside at the end of his first term after a special counsel's report found him to be an elderly man with poor memory. Kennedy was talking to Fox News and said that he were Biden's, would hope someone in his own family would politely suggest he step away from the political limelight if his mental acuity is as diminished as special counsel Robert Hur suggested. I think anybody can make up their mind about Biden's situation as well as I can. I hope that if he has the kind of cognitive challenges that the special counsel indicated he has, and if I were in that position, a member of my family or staff would approach me and assist me in gently stepping down.
This is one of those days where we have to find something else to talk about.
He thinks Dr. Jill should be doing it.
Oh my!
Be the one approaching him. She's probably the only one he's going to listen to. And now I'm going to give you another problem.
Oh gosh, tell me about Fannie Willis.
If he does step aside, he's going down,
Right.
would that not expedite his decline? I need Kelly in here.
I would think so. Let me say something about age. He's what, 82,
81.
81? You can take 5 81s, put them all in the
Yeah, I
same
know.
room, and you're going to find some that are sharp as a tack and mentally, and go out and still do 5K marathons.
Yes, I know.
I can't even do a half block, and then you're going to have some 81-year-olds that you can see dementia, you can see all this other stuff coming on. And so his age is not really a factor for me as much as his mental decline.
Yes.
And being president of the United States has got to be the most stressful job in the world. But I just wonder.
It's a position, yes.
Right. I just wonder how much of it is done. Well, you also know, President of the United States, someone like Joe Biden, it is my belief that it's his staff and all the people around him that are running the country. They just say, here, Joe, sign this.
There's a lot of that.
Yes. And that
as it is in a big corporation.
That's right. Exactly right. So, but I cannot see the man doing another 4 years.
I will be surprised if he can make it through this term. I'm not talking about something going to happen to him.
It's going to be a lot of stress on the campaign trail.
But on the campaign trail, this is going to be worse than ever. This
Right.
is just going to add to his stress.
Right. Exactly.
And,
You've got everything happening in Ukraine.
yeah, and you're going to have
You've
Trump beating up on him every lockstep
yes.
of the way.
Well, Trump can be a bully. We
Yes,
know
he
that.
can. He is a bully.
We know that. So this is I'm sitting back waiting to see what's going to happen with the unaffiliated party and the no labels party.
Typically, it's a 60-40 split for unaffiliated.
Right.
60% for Republicans, 40% for Democrats. I don't know about this year. It's who was it we were talking about yesterday? Do you want a grandpa or a crazy in there?
Yeah, somebody said that. Yes.
It was somebody in his 80s.
Right.
You got to settle for a grandpa or a crazy.
Well, I'm not one to publicly state who I'm voting for or not voting for. I kind of keep that to myself, but I still go back to the premise that what choices were we given? The Democratic Party, you couldn't do better?
Yes,
Republican
they could.
Party, there's
But
so
the
many
Demo-
out there I would
the
love to
DNC
see
was
run.
not going to support anybody else.
No, but
They shot them all down, which was their mistake.
well, I know the whole thing is if you're in there one term, you run again.
Run again,
Maybe they didn't want to take that chance away from him, but
they shot themselves in the feet
but then and again they put him up against Trump in 2020, and look what happened.
by the luck of the draw, and it wasn't a big spread.
Right. Oh no, 2024 is going to make me older. Just trying to get through it.
And Kamala, of course, is going to push for him to be reelected because she knows
Of course, it's her job too.
It gives her a uptick in the possibilities that he won't stay in office for 4 years, and then it would be her. I mean, she's counting on that now.
Of course she is. I mean, anybody would be in her position. But
I don't understand anybody putting this man in a position that they put him in.
I'm just shaking my head at this whole thing.
His chances of beating Trump this time, unless something happens to Trump legally, his chances of beating Trump this time around are greatly diminished than it was last time.
Well, I saw some polls taken by legit organizations last night where they were showing Trump ahead of Biden.
Yes, I saw a bunch of them.
11 points right now. And they said the biggest complaint, the biggest downfall for Biden was people were wary of his age and his mind.
In 2020, he did not have this cognitive defect decline like he has now. That's the one thing. Forget the age. He did not have it. Trump, if he's elected, he'll be 81 in 4 years. Think about that.
Yeah. And just put it out there. We were talking about early voting a few minutes ago. The sites here in Onslow County open up February 15th, which is on a Thursday. So Thursday and Friday, the polls are open from 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Thursday and Friday. On Saturday, they will be open from 8 to 3 p.m. And then they go back the following week, Monday through Friday, 8 to 7:30, the following Saturday, 8 to 3, and then February 26th through March 1st, 8 to 7:30, and March 2nd, 8 to 3. Saturdays are 8 to 3. Just remember that. Weekdays are 8 to 7:30. And the 5 places they have that will be open for early voting is the Board of Elections on Georgetown Road, Onslow County Museum, which is right there as you go into Richlands. It's right past, it's before you get to the Piggly Wiggly.
No. I don't know.
think it is. I think it is. It's right next door to Town Hall. You come up,
Yeah,
you
it
come up
used to be.
258, you've got Town Hall, then you've got the Onslow County Museum. And then you've got the Swansboro Recreation Center, which is off of Main Street, the Commons Recreation Center, which everybody knows where the Commons is. That's where most people go. And the Sneeze Ferry Branch Library, which is right there on Highway 210. Past the Shark on the left, past Hardee's, keep going another block or two.
Maybe I'll get back from my doctor's appointment on Thursday in time to go by there and vote.
I can't go yet. I usually first day of early voting, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go vote, but I've got some questions for myself.
Well, I've
I'm
got 'em
really
too.
at a loss with a couple of things.
Mhm.
So, and I'm afraid if I run down there and vote right away, I'm going to regret
You're
it.
gonna hate yourself in the
Yes.
morning.
So I think I'm going to kind of wait towards the end.
Okay, you're live and local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME, and we'll be right back.
USME.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry. Don't break a heart or your bank account this Valentine's Day. Be sure to make it a Barnes Diamond Gallery gift for the love in your life. You see, you always get a sweetheart of a deal at Barnes Diamond Gallery. Family owned and operated since 1982. You are guaranteed to find the perfect diamond, emerald, ruby, or sapphire. Barnes Diamond Gallery also has a great selection of necklaces, rings, and pendants that will make that special day. Barnes Diamond Gallery, custom designs jewelry and prices for gold, sterling silver jewelry, sterling flatware, and diamonds. Make that special person feel extra special with a gift from Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, right here in Jacksonville. Family owned and operated since 1982. Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only cover protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, solid tech luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home that's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering. You for voting them the best of the best for 2023 in the flooring covering and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering, they're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering, you stand on it, we stand behind it.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back. We're back in the closing minutes. You got a comment you want to make? Feel free to do so. Figured little Timmy would be calling about today.
I'm trying to figure out, is it Fat Tuesday or not?
Yes, it's Fat Tuesday.
Fat
I think.
Tuesday.
That's what it's called anyway.
We're talking about Mardi Gras now.
Uh,
Not us.
Let's see.
No,
Mardi Gras this year is what?
Fat Tuesday is celebrating Louisiana and all over the world's parades and parties. See if they can get that story.
February 13th is the day, and it should be known as Fat Tuesday.
What does it exactly mean? You just eat till you get fat?
Probably. I don't know.
Crawdads and red beans and rice. Wow. It marks the end of the Mardi Gras season. The end? I thought we're just getting ready to start. With celebrations in Louisiana, Alabama, Brazil, and Europe.
Mardi Gras' biggest and final celebration arrives on Fat Tuesday, February 13th this year. But Mardi Gras can be any day from February 3rd to March 9th. So
I don't know.
Oh, God.
I thought there was always a specific time for Mardi Gras. But this says that they're ending it on Fat Tuesday. I'm like, what? But you just starting. I don't know. Maybe somebody that knows about Mardi Gras will call in and educate us. But it says Monday's activities in New Orleans are included on an afternoon Lundi Gras.
Mardi Gras, by the way, is French for Fat Tuesday, reflecting the practice of the last night of consuming rich, fatty foods in preparation for the fasting season of Lent.
Well, thank you for
Now you
clearing
got
that
it.
up. Now I have it.
Okay.
I've never been. Have you ever been?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
It might be fun.
If I went, I did be throwing beads at me or something.
But you can eat all you want on Fat Tuesday.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Interesting.
Coming up tomorrow, let's preview it. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so
Yes.
tomorrow we've got Dr. Rose.
Yes, we do.
First thing in the morning, 7:30.
Right.
Then at 8 o'clock, we've got
Peter Wright.
Peter Wright.
Right. We're moving him to 8, a little bit after 8, because we have a candidate that's running for re-election coming into the studio tomorrow.
Yeah, Paul Buchanan
Yeah,
will be
Paul
here in the morning.
Buchanan.
I got to give him the 3rd degree tomorrow, right? I got to get one of those old lights and something, maybe a rubber hose.
You seriously say not?
I got a bright light somewhere.
No, let me just throw it. Let me just see if I can find him on its stripes and a number.
Why not?
You
Nah.
would do that.
Nah, he's a fun guy.
Yeah, he is. I've known Paul for a very long time.
I knew him when he
And,
was a deputy sheriff.
I knew him back in the early 80s. He was friends
This
with
was in
my
the
husband
70s.
and used to come over to the house somewhat.
Paul was a interesting guy. He and
He's got
a
stories.
fellow deputy named Jimmy Henderson. They were
I remember
line
Jimmy
line
Henderson.
officers,
Uh-huh.
line patrol type guys, and they started seizing drugs here, there, and everywhere.
Wow.
They are making traffic stops, and they got the hang for it. And of course, Onslow County did not have a drug unit at the time. It was up to them to do it. Then Paul went over to JPD. I don't know what happened to Jimmy, where he went.
Didn't he go to another agency, like a state agency?
I think
or
it's either
something?
ALE or SBI.
I was going to say ALE, but I can't say
I
that
can't
I'm
remember
right.
either. I think we're friends on Facebook now, though.
Hmm.
We've reconnected.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, so
Stories.
Paul will be here tomorrow.
Yes. And then Thursday, we have Emily Morrison. She's with the North Carolina Cooperative Extension right here in Alzo County. And then, of course, we have Miller Time at 8:40. Chris Miller,
yay.
our favorite sports editor with the Jacksonville Daily News, will be calling in and keeping us abreast. And I want to ask him about the swim team. We have some swimmers from Alzo County
I saw that.
that participated in the tournament, brought back some trophies.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yay for them.
That's right. Yep, I'd like to see some of that team action here
I would
instead of having to
too.
go somewhere else. And hopefully one day we will be able to do that.
Yes.
Okay, coming up in just a few seconds, it's going to be Fox News break, about 60 seconds long. Then we'll have a music interlude until 10 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock, it's going to be Rick Dees, another dose of the Daily Dees. He will
Man's
be
crazy.
spinning all the sounds.
He's
all the tunes.
crazy.
He's crazy.
He's funny.
But he's got lots of cool jokes and
Yes, he
lots of
does.
cool, funny things.
Yes. And then we have drive time.
And Drive Time with Hollywood.
That's
the
right.
man will be in at 3 o'clock this afternoon. He will be spinning all the tunes until about 7 tonight. And I forgot what happens then. So we've got to get it all done.
Yes, we have a paper somewhere,
Okay.
but we'll find it. Yes.
You're live and local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m., WSME. Join us all three tomorrow morning. Kelly will be back, and maybe she'll get a good get well report. We'll see you in the morning. Stay safe.
WSME Championship.